Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host. And this is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. This time, we're going to take a look at somebody I've talked about a little bit about before, but there's so much of it out there. I want to talk a little bit about Ultraman, and take a look at this book here, which is from Ultraman Classic, Battle of the Ultra Brothers from Viz Comics. This is Ultraman Classic Volume 2. But tell you first a little bit about Ultraman, or the Ultra series, which is a Japanese science fiction media franchise created by Eiji Tsuburaya. Sorry, butchered that name. And it, with its beginning as a 1966 TV series, it became an international pop culture phenomenon. Yes, it was even that original series was even showed here in the U.S. back in the 60s. Although I never saw it back then or heard of it because I lived in BFE and we barely had television. It expanded into comic books, several TV series over the decades, and movies and toys. It's a part of the Kaiju genre and initiated the Kyodai Hero subgenre. The series revolves around an alien race of superheroes who combat Kaiju, which is the giant monsters, and other aliens on Earth. And it their deal is that they can't exist for very long here on Earth, so they have to take a human host and coexist there. And then when the need arises, they transform into one of several Ultramen, and to fight off the menace, but can usually only maintain their giant size, ultra form for a few minutes at a time. And my introduction to Ultraman was actually and one that I've talked about here before because there was a comic version of it, was Ultraman Towards the Future, which was an Australian produced TV series from 1990. And I think there was also an American produced series, which I have never seen or otherwise heard of other than in my research, from about 93 or so. And I don't know whether that was animated or live action, because there have been both animated and live action series and movies. And I've never seen any of the movies, but you can find a lot of clips and previews and stuff from the various Ultraman movies on YouTube. And I think, I'm not positive now, but I think the Ultraman Toward the Future series is available on YouTube, but I'm not positive on that one. I liked that series. Of course, it was Australian produced. It took place. It was a combined Japanese and Australian production, but it was shot in Australia. All the characters were Australian, but the main character, the one who transformed into Ultraman, was Japanese. And it had an American-produced couple of comic book miniseries based on that series, and I can't remember who the publisher was at the moment. But as I recall, it was all drawn by Ernie Colon. Who, of course, is. But I really enjoyed that, and that was all monsters and stuff. Now, what I've got here, I wanted to show this in a little bit too, because for these particular series, these are the only volumes that I've got. I've got this Ultraman 11. This is from 2017, from Dark Horse, and it is pretty much a contemporary Ultraman series, manga, and done in the traditional manga style, from right to left, and is told. Of course, this is volume 11. This has that extremely long and drawn out Japanese style of storytelling. So actually very little happens in this entire volume, and I hate that. I want more story, and it's just a little quicker pace. I don't want one chapter to take place over just a few seconds, necessarily. And it has nice artwork. And this particular series has the Earth has been taken over by another alien race, and the Ultras are fighting back. There's a whole group of them, but unfortunately, there's no Kaiju, and even the Ultras and the enemies are all human-sized, so it's just fighting, and the whole thing is almost entirely fighting. I think this whole volume takes place over just a few minutes in real time, and it is very disappointing because there's very little to it. There's put in an awful lot of work to produce very little, as far as I'm concerned. But the one I want to look a little more closely at is the Ultraman Classics. This is unfortunately is the only volume of this that I've gotten. This was from, I couldn't find a date on here, from the published in the U.S. In the late 80s, I think, or early 90s, but I think it's the late 80s. By Viz, and it was this is when they were doing stuff changed to the American style, so it's the art is from left to right instead of right to left in the Japanese manner, and I gather just from the art style, this is from a Japanese series from the late 60s or early 70s, based on the art style, but the storytelling is much more in line with American storytelling. So there's a whole lot more going on in this thin volume, which is only covers two chapters, than there is in this big fat volume. And it is still slower paced than most of the American comics, especially from that time. And this is again with an alien race taking over the Earth, and the Ultras have to fight out. But there are like dozens of Ultras here on Earth in this storyline, and they're scattered all over the world, primarily in different areas of Japan, and they're trying to get together before they reveal themselves, but these aliens are after them, and so they're doing these horrendous things, trying to flush out the Ultras. And this Ultra Commander is here. They've captured one of the Ultras, and in the process of possibly killing him, they're really mistreating him. These are giant beings, so when they transform, they become giant, and these aliens are basically Kaiju themselves, but they're just in human form, as you can probably see here, them towering over the buildings. And is it the Jackal Forces recognition chart? It has this, so you can tell the chart of who the enemy are, their ranks, and various things like that. So they're trying to flush out the Ultras, and then, boom, this mystery hero appears and starts whacking the heck. This is while the Ultras are they're right there, but they're trying to begin hiding. They're trying to get together with the others from around the world, because they realize this is to flush them out, because they can take them out and one by one or in small groups, but they need to be in force to fight against these aliens. But this one unknown hero, mystery hero, zapping in, and he starts wailing on these evil aliens, and just takes them all out. Boom, 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 boom. But then reinforcements arrive. Boom. But he's taking them out, but he's getting outnumbered. Then, here we see the mystery warrior, Melos. And in the process, he reveals himself as an ultra warrior while he's taking them out. So the other ultras get together, make their appearance. See, there he is. That's where he is, revealing himself as an ultra warrior. So then, against his better judgment, the ultra commander gets all his people that he can together, and they make their appearance. And here you see all the ultras swooping in, and they just clean house, go against all these evil aliens. Boom, 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 boom. And he assembles his battle armor again. And wham! It's all fight, but it is overall, I think, a better story than in that other one. And I like the artwork, even though it is a little more stylized, a little simpler. But you can actually tell what's going on better here, because here you have pages of fight and not know what the heck is going on. That's just the problem I've got with a lot of the manga. Then they get together, the ultras, after they've cleaned the clocks of a lot of the aliens on Earth, and then they head to take off to the alien homeworld, where this is the alien master, lord, whatever they called him, and he is in charge of it all. He's sending another shipload towards Earth, while the ultras are on their way. Boom, boom, boom. They intercept that ship and take care of them. There are the ultras following up on Melos. Then they eventually get to the alien planet, the evil aliens planet, and they're just like cleaning house, whacking, fight, taking them all out. All the battlements. They get to the palace, and they burst in, and it turns out they were suckered. It was a trap. They fell into the trap, and they're dun dun dun. They're in a trap, and it is continued to next issue. What happens to the ultras? Well, I don't know, because this is the only volume I've got. But I would much rather get more issues of this than this one, this older one, because I like the storytelling better, and in a way I like the art better, even though it's a more older style of art. It's cleaner and more readable, and I really enjoyed that one. I've got some more Ultraman. I'll show some other time, different form. Because I like Ultraman. I've got a DVD set of the first season of the original series, and I enjoyed that. And it's all each episode fighting a monster, and then I have a DVD set of Ultraman Tiga, which is one of the later series from the 90s, I think it was, and that is good too. It has better effects and everything. And but unfortunately is not dubbed in English, and which it's all subtitles, and it's hard to see what's going on the screen when you're reading the subtitles. I like the dubbing better, and modern techniques of dubbing are so much better than in the 60s and 70s that you can barely tell that they're dubbed. I've seen some other dubbed movies that were just, it's very difficult to tell that they're dubbed, and because it's done so well. And I would rather have that, personally, than the subtitles. But even that Ultraman Tiga is very well produced, much bigger budget, better technology and stuff, and hard to imagine what they could do today. So that's all I've got for you this time for Ultraman. So please like, share, subscribe, and do leave a comment. Have you watched any of these Ultraman series or movies, or read any of these books? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, comics are art.